Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Linda Beard, your host and author of the upcoming book, Bold Enough. Thank you for allowing me to come back into your world for another week. We are picking up, showing the love, and talking about New Vision Media. We have Jerrud Smith and Jason back with us. And now we're going to talk about where that love took them. We've talked about Jay's beginning and how he came from Cambodia to the United States, went to the Ohio State University, and his passion and love for making filmmaking. And then Jerrud also went to the Ohio State University. Are you a Buckeye fan? I am. But like Jerrud, I think, said last week, we love all of the different teams out there. And Jerrud knew what he wanted to do as a little boy because of his father in photography and how he made his own little setup that we showed you on last week's video. So we're back. So let's get with it. Okay, let's fast forward just for time's sake. Yeah. Share with the viewers, what was that turning point? You both worked with TV stations. Talk a little bit about the turning point where you made the bold enough move to go into New Vision Media and how you became partners.
Oh, my goodness. So for me, working for a TV station, which is like a stepping stone, I really wanted to make film, actually. But, I'm so attached to my family, so I couldn't move to California or anything like that, right?
Yes.
Stuck working at the TV station. But I know that that's not what I want to do. I've always, in the background, I always try to learn stuff, especially like editing and stuff like that, right? I start my career since before I went to film school,
right?
Doing that music video,
right?
Stuff like that. So I know.
I want to hear one of those music videos. By the way,
actually,
maybe we'll have a party with those music videos.
That's great. And then you know what? We both worked in television together. We both worked at Channel 6, which is ABC at Fox affiliate here in Columbus, Ohio, and. It was so weird because he generally works from midnight to 8 in the morning.
Okay.
And I work during the day.
Okay.
So that one special day, this is where God works. He came upstairs and I was editing in the newsroom. I was editing this little special editing bay. And he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm editing some video for the news." I said, I thought he was an intern or something,
right.
But he worked there. And he said, "I do the same thing." And he went down and showed me his reel, came up and put it in play, and I was blown away by his work.
Wow.
And at that time, I wanted to get out of news because everything is just run and gun. They don't care about creativity. They just want to just get it on the air.
For all of those, all of you who are out there in the news, oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was a news videographer.
No, you've been there, you've been in that world, and I'm sure many of our listeners can identify with that. So it's quite
so we saw each other's reel, and at that point we said, "Why don't we start a business together?"
Wow.
And I sat there. I saw somebody who resembled me, and he saw someone who resembled himself, and he said, "Well, let's start something." So in 2000, the year 2000, December 2000, we started New Vision Media Corporation.
Wow. Now, was there a particular event that happened that you said, now is the time? Or was there planning? Because some of our viewers are thinking, well, do I plan? Or is there a circumstance that forced you to make the bold enough move?
So for me, it's the love of being, making something related to film. Like I said, when I was working for the TV station, my mind in the background, I was working, I was building my resumes. I would teach myself how to edit. I know how to edit, but on a very basic.
Right.
But now, these non-linear back then, early 2000, late 90s, it just emerged. So I bought myself an editing system, $24,000.
Wow.
Using credit card. Yeah, every paycheck I got from work.
So this is when before you started New Vision?
Before I started New Vision.
Before you started, you started buying up the equipment that you would need.
Yeah, and put together a nice resume. I say one day, I know I want to start a business.
Okay.
But I just, I need a partner.
Okay. And what did you see in this guy?
Well, you know what? I'm not a people person.
No, you could have fooled me.
I'm a behind the camera type of person. And, I have my reel ready to go. So every day when there's a downtime at work, I would just go and see, I can talk to people, show them my work and stuff like that, right? And see if anything can happen, right? That's when I saw Jed. He was in the editing booth.
Right.
And he didn't want to acknowledge that I was there.
Right.
What are you doing? Oh, he was sitting in this editing booth with these nice non-linear, putting together a package. I said, "You want to see my reel?" He's like, I'm a little, okay. So I went downstairs, grabbed my tape, and then show it to him. And of course, he already told you that, he likes the stuff that he saw.
I love the energy. We love the energy.
When after he saw the video, he said, "You know what? I'm off work in about half an hour. I'll come downstairs, and we'll talk." Because I told him, I always want to look for a business partner.
Okay, and so then that's when the partnership began.
I thought he was kidding. I said,
So how many years later is this?
That was early 2000s.
That was early
2000. So New Vision Media has been in existence for
22 years.
22 years.
Yes.
22 years.
Now, I have to say that lightly because we were still working our full-time jobs.
But it was incorporated. You were partners. You were growing the business. So you worked a little bit. Still not a little bit. Your full-time job was still at the station.
The station, correct.
And then you eventually weaned. So what kind of sacrifices did you have to make? Because that's a question that is very much real for many folks that want to do something. And I know for our audience, fear gets in the way of, can I really do this? Will I have that money stream?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, patience, a lot of patience, time, and of course, money. Back then, everything was expensive. Now, oh my God, if you get into video production and stuff like that, you can just put a free editing software on your computer and start to do it.
I have one of those. I have one of those, by the way. I'm teetering around.
Yeah. So when I say, kids now, the resources, it's there.
So you're saying it's easier now.
It's
so
easier
those
now.
of you who want to get into this world, it's a lot easier as far as the equipment and access. But choosing the right partner is very important. If you had to pick two things that were very vital for you in a partner to have sustainability, because you've been in a business 22 years now, so I'm sure you had a very short list, but I'm just asking for two things, starting with you, Jerrud.
Gosh.
What was absolutely a must in that partner?
Trust. Yeah, trust is the main thing. If we can't trust each other, then the business is not going to exist. And the second thing is just the motivation. The motivation. Jay is very innovative, and a couple things that we looked at our strengths, and we took our strength and we divided and conquered. My strength is people. I love people. I love this to go out to gatherings, and so my job in the company was to go out and get business, and Jay's job in the company was to just make it more innovative, get the latest equipment, make it look great, make the video, shoot it, edit, and then that gives me something to sell.
Yeah. Well, I can say that your work is amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing. So two things, Jay, that you wanted in that partner, and then we've got to talk about New Vision Media and what you actually do. And audience, I'm also going to post on my website the contact information for Jay and Jerrud and their company and everything that they do. Even though they're headquartered in Columbus, Ohio, they travel all over the country. And again, their work is phenomenal. And when you see their website, which we'll make sure we post that as well, you'll be able to see the great work. So, Jay, two things.
Yeah, on top of the trust and motivation is that passion and dedication.
Okay.
You got to have the love for what you're doing. You got to dedicate no matter what sacrifice You know, we when we started it, our commercial 30 seconds would be $9.50.
Okay.
$9.50, right?
Right.
So, but we don't give them $9.50.
Right.
Because of our love, you know, we go way above and beyond. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't require a dolly or anything like that, but we would just do it anyways because we love it. And the client actually, they see that.
Yes.
They see that in your work.
Okay.
They see that passion. They
that's
see
what
that
brings them back.
dedication.
Yeah.
That's what brings them
so
back.
let's talk about that. So what does New Vision Media offer?
Well, we're a full-service video production company, and we do everything from corporate videos to social media videos to television commercials, drone videos, and I can go back to our drone story. I mean, we were one of the first in Ohio to have a drone.
Wow.
In 2012. So there's Jay's innovativeness again.
Okay.
He came to me, he says, Jerrud, I need a drone. I said, the drone is the one that kills people, the missiles. So he said, no, this is a different type of drone. So we, I tell you what, we have clientele from the state of Ohio. We work with the governor's office. We work with Columbus Metro Parks. We work with John Glenn International Airport. We work with Tourism Ohio. We've been with Tourism Ohio since 2018.
So you have some really big accounts. Now, what was your very first account so that the audience can listen in and see your expressions where you started and where you are 22 years later?
Our very first account was COSI.
Wow, that was a pretty big account.
Yeah, it was COSI because we had those little mini discs and went down there because they were looking for a different way to market their exhibits. So we had this little business card CD-ROM, and we went to them and we got the gig, and that was in 2001.
That's pretty impressive that you were able to start out with such a large account.
Yeah.
So what would you say to the viewers for your final remarks? I know that I heard you have to be passionate about what you're going to do to be bold enough. Because if you're not passionate and you're not driven and dedicated at it, then chances are it's going to be a fleeting moment. It's not going to be 22 years lajust
And I address this to the young people too. You know, don't do it for the money. You know, a lot of people, they go out and they say, oh, I'll just see the dollar signs. Don't do it for the dollar signs. Do it where your heart takes you. If you feel that you can go out there and say, I want to be this, then you don't worry about the money's going to come.
Okay. And Jay?
Yeah, you know, I can concur. So in Cambodian culture back in the day, where you have arranged marriage and all that stuff, right? And so the parents would match up, you know, who your partner's going to be, or your wife and stuff like that's going to be, right? Well, you know what? Even though I've seen, you know, couples that go through it and they're not happy or whatever, right? At the end of the day, love will get you to where you want to be at.
Wow.
You know, if you don't love the person,
yes,
right? Anything she does is going to be wrong. But if you love the person, there's forgiveness. It doesn't matter. The same thing with this thing. Your love. If you don't love it, you get tired of it real quick. But if you love it, you will have the patience for it. You will have time for it. You will dedicate your time for it. You know.
Well, thank you. That is a great place to pause and stop and end our show. So, my Bold Enough audience, it's a new year. Do not go through 2023 like you did 22. Be moving forward, make bold enough moves, progress in your life, but don't strive for perfection. Progress. Do what you love and write down today on a piece of paper, I am going to be bold enough to make a move to do
what I love.
So that's it for this week for Bold Enough Moves. Thank you, Jerrud. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for having
we
us.
will see you next week on Bold Enough. Don't forget, make those bold enough moves every day, but get to the big mountaintop with the right bold enough move. Take care. See you next week.